Joining me now is Wes Schultz, who will be back fighting on Dana White's Contender Series October the 14th when he takes on Mario Mingaj. Wes, it's great to talk to you for the first time, my man. I'm excited to see you back here on the big show, knocking on that door to get the contract into the UFC. How are you feeling now as we are just a couple short weeks out?
Feeling good in my last couple HUD weeks, and then toning it down, getting ready for the actual fight.
And obviously you have been there before. You've already experienced that. It's not like an official UFC fight week, but it's the closest you're going to get to it. What was that like the first time? How do you feel like you've grown from that experience to now here your second shot?
Well, it's the best you're going to be treated outside of an actual UFC fight week. They got everything you need to cut right there in the hotel, and you don't have to get bussed anywhere to weigh in. Or small promotions, maybe you got to go cut weight in the gym and then fucking drive to the venue and weigh in. But no, you just pretty much do the whole thing in your hotel room and walk down to the not the lobby, but somewhere in that hotel they keep us in and weigh in. It's easy. It's nice.
Fighting there though in the Apex and that kind of closed in arena with not like a bunch of screaming fans like you would be normally fighting. How different is that? Like, do you still feel like the pressure because there's like a million people watching on, ESPN plus? What
Well,
is that dynamic like?
I dig the pressure. I like fighting in for the fans. So I mean that's kind of off. You don't have like an intro music or anything. I mean it feels just weird. I'm sure it'll feel much less weird the second time doing it. And if I get in, I suppose you'll at some point you fight in the apex, so might as well get used to it. But it definitely doesn't feel like a. If it feels like a, uh, not like a walkthrough, but
It's
it
just
almost
different.
feels like you're just in the gym, man, or
Yeah.
like you're an actor doing like a screen test. You know what I mean? Like you're just missing something. It's an odd experience, but it's neat.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'll have to live vicariously through you because I'm never going to be there. Tell me, obviously your first opponent that you had, really tough guy, a lot of hype behind him, and he's doing well in the UFC. What did you learn from that fight? How have you grown from that loss?
I mean, I pretty much just got back, not not like back to the drawing board. I kind of kept doing the same type of training I was doing. Um, that was just a tough one. I think I could have prepared differently. I thought I was gonna be like defending takedowns the whole time and stuff like that, and that was not the fight. Which I mean, anytime you try to prepare for like a specific opponent, it always ends up being the complete opposite type of that fight. If
Sure.
that makes sense. I don't think I've ever had maybe like one or two moments. It's like, oh, we worked on that, but whenever you're thinking a fight's going to go a certain way, it almost never does.
I did see too after that fight with Mansoor, you were scheduled for another crack at Contender Series like a month later against Geraldo Souza.
No,
But
that's okay.
why didn't that fight come to fruition?
I got injured before that. I think it was week of, which kind of sucks. But I don't know what do the hippies say? Everything happens for a reason.
Do you feel though it too maybe like it's almost like a blessing, like you've had this much more of an opportunity to get better, to prepare, and now here you are back. I would assume an evolved, better fighter than the first time we saw you at Contender
Yeah.
Series.
Yep. I think it is. I think it will turn out to be a blessing. A lot of people get in and they go like 0 and 2 or something, and then they're fucking out. And then it's kind of like, oh, that's your career for most people. So I think in another year, just to keep working and, as you said, evolving and just really getting comfortable with myself. Um, yeah, I definitely feel more ready to go beat the shit out of people in the UFC now versus a year ago,
Mhm. What
essentially.
what areas do you feel like you've grown the most since we saw you last at Contender Series?
Definitely striking defense and probably my grappling game has it's a lot more patient than I think it used to be. More focusing on top control and stuff like that. This is looking for crazy subs and stuff, and maybe tempered my striking a little bit, not throwing as much wild shit, even though that is the most fun stuff to throw. So, I mean, I might just do it anyways. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a fucking game. I mean, maybe not a game, but it's a sport. You know what I mean? You're doing this. If this was no more fun than working at Best Buy, I'd be working at fucking Best Buy. You know?
Understood. And too, like Dana and the UFC brass, they're looking for exciting finishes at Contender Series. So does that kind of change your mindset going in? Like maybe you're going to be more aggressive than you normally would if you're fighting regionally.
Oh, absolutely. Seeing the final bell helps nobody. Me nor my opponents. We should both be exhausted by the end of the 15, which you think that would be like well, of course you will be. There's definitely fights you see in the UFC where it's like, oh, they probably could go another couple rounds. And it's not because the conditioning is fucking crazy. It's because they've not been throwing strikes or doing too much. So, I mean, I'm predicting a high pace for me. I assume he's going to be coming at me crazy too, because this is the first time he's going to be in the apex. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll get the fucking blood going, the adrenaline pumping. It's kind of hard not to just go out there. Like, I remember even last year, I was supposed to kind of take it easy first half of the fight. And, like, you get in there, it's like, man, fuck that. Let's do this.
Let's go. You're going to have kind of like that leg up on him because you've already experienced this before where the bright lights might hit him differently here for this being his first time.
That's what I'm hoping.
Have you watched a lot of tape on him? He is undefeated. He's 7-0. Like, what do you think of him as a matchup?
Oh, I like it. And most people at this stage in their careers, if you're undefeated, you haven't really fought anybody. Then again, I was saying that last year. Mm-hmm. I was saying the same thing last year about this time.
Do you think that Mario is a more difficult matchup for you stylistically than Mansour was?
No. This is definitely more my style.
Okay, so you like this matchup for you a lot better than you did the first time at Contender Series.
Yeah, I do. And I think he'll play with me more on the ground. Mansour kept getting up, which I did not expect. I thought he was going to try and fucking ground pound me more. So when I was tired of fucking pulling guard and he was getting back up, I was like, motherfucker. This was not in the fucking this was not in the plans.
And you come from a wrestling base, right? Like that's like your bread and butter where you feel most comfortable. Do you feel like that's where you're going to hold the biggest advantage in this fight?
I do think so. I think he's good at striking and he's good at jiu-jitsu, but there's no fucking wrestling in Italy, man. At least none I've heard of. And that is something that it's hard to learn later and it's hard to be effective at that later in life. You definitely can. Like, I've seen examples of it, but it's rare. And there's just a different strength if you've been wrestling your whole life versus picking up grappling later.
My father was a very, very accomplished high school wrestler, and he's the one that got me into MMA. And he always told me wrestling is the most important discipline to have in mixed martial arts because you dictate where the fight goes. If you don't want to stand with someone, you can use your wrestling to get them to the ground or vice versa. Do you agree with that? And how do you feel like your wrestling skill set will translate to the competition you'll face at the UFC if you do get this contract?
Well, I agree with you, Dad. I always think of it, it's kind of like a chassis and a car. Like everything gets built off of that. But that's like such a good base. And I think my wrestling, and it's always been kind of like a little slippery son of a bitch style. You know, nothing. Definitely not an Iowa type of style, which really translated to grappling really well, and it's not super taxing, which is a big plus when the rounds are 5 minutes instead of 2 minutes, and just kind of lower energy costs. But I mean, that probably has drawbacks of its own, but I've found a few of them so far. And I think in the UFC, like the funkier dudes getting it done. Besides, I think maybe Marab.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like the one that's. I can't describe it, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, he
He's
is
gonna hit the same thing 50 fucking times and never
just
gas.
relentless. It's unbelievable watching the cardio and just the pace that he puts on.
Yeah, it's glad I'm an 85.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, with you being a former wrestler, you're used to cutting weight. How big do you get? What is the cut like for you to get down to 185?
I think I'm usually and somewhere around like 210, 215. But the cut's not that tough for me, and I'm disciplined with it. I mean, I feel like I'm always within like a week of making weight,
Mhm.
unless you can't catch me like halfway through like a camping trip or something. Okay, then give me a couple weeks. Um, but yeah, I weighed in last year. I was there like 5 minutes before the weigh-in started, and you had like an hour, and a lot of guys were coming in like right at the end of that hour. I was hanging out, waiting. Shit, fucking Marab came, sat right down right next to me. I was like, holy shit, what's
That's
going
pretty
on,
cool.
man?
What's your weight at today?
Fuck, man, I don't know. I'm guessing like 212, 210.
Yeah. Okay. So you're right where you normally would be. And I love the nickname too. I got to ask you, party time. I mean, when I was a little bit younger, I like to party myself. What do you do if you do party? Do you like to drink beer? Is it food? Like what's the vice?
Oh
I'm assuming
man,
that's
I
where you
like
got
to.
the nickname from.
Yeah, I like to go to just kind of dives and hammer in Milwaukee. You go anywhere, you get like there's like shot and beer specials. You used to get a shot of beer and a cigarette for like $45. Now most places it's shot beer and a pull tab. And I just fucking rip a ton of not duds, but those deals and eat a bunch of pickled eggs and play fucking honky tonk type songs on touch tunes.
So are you like Carlos Pratas? Are you smoking heaters during
Fuck
camp?
no. No, fuck that, man. That would be intense. If I was Marab, I'd be smoking heaters in camp. Like, why not? Like,
But
you're shooting 50 takedowns a fucking match. Like, you can shoot 45 and still be successful.
it's true. So you don't smoke cigarettes, period, right? Like, or is that something you did when you were younger?
I mean, I've definitely smoked cigarettes in my life, but it's not like I would not consider myself a smoker. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've smoked cigars in my life, but I'm not Tony Soprano.
Gotcha.
Walking around smoking cigars and stuff.
Understood. Understood. So right now, with you being smack in the middle of camp, like what does day to day life look like for you? Do you have a job that you're doing in addition to training? What else do you have going on in your
Yeah.
life?
I do bartending. I used to work for the county doing like maps and GIS and shit. That stuff sucked and paid like shit too. I can't believe I went to school for that. Biggest waste of time and money in my life. Uh, but yeah, bartending's sick. I just I shave down the number of shifts I do. So like right now I'm only working like 3 shifts a week, which is nice. So like Monday through Wednesday, I just get 2 days in, and those can be anything from like they're not all HUD sessions, but sometimes it's maybe like a strength and conditioning session in the morning. And then I come back later and do my striking and grappling. I mean, it all depends on what my gym has planned, and I'll work with like local guys from other gyms. We have a really good grappling group I go to with some big names in the Midwest. And I usually do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings, which is just a fucking bear. There's like no rounds off.
You still at Pura Vida with Clip and Auto?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you got some great guys around you. Who are like the main partners that you typically get the most working with?
Probably Nick Klein and Dylan Diebitz. I'll get rounds in with I'll get grappling rounds in with Jordan Newman on Tuesday, Thursdays. He's in PFL. I think he's gonna be in the next tournament. I don't know how that works though. Getting some grappling rounds with him with like Mearshart sometimes.
Okay, cool.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, GM3, he's the man. And does
He is
Otto
the man.
still get some work in?
Yeah, no, he'll still throw on the rash gun and go throw people around.
Yeah. A lot of great guys there in the Midwest. Are you a big football fan? Like, do you get into any other sports?
Well, I mean, you're forced to. It's just what everyone's doing on like a Sunday. And B, I went to school in Minnesota for a year and in Iowa. So I mean, I didn't really watch football in high school, but like the first thing I heard, getting to school was like, "Oh, you're from Wisconsin? Fuck the Packers." I was like, "Well, okay, well, I have no dog in this fight. But fuck you and fuck whatever team you like." Like, I guess I love the Packers now.
You're right. Yeah, you just play off of their love, and you wear the black hat and get them going a little bit more. It just
I
makes it
would have
more
never been
interesting.
wearing a cheese head if it wasn't for Vikings fans. Telling me to go fuck myself and fuck the Packers.
Are
Like,
they pretty
okay.
ruthless?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
up
mean,
here
it
in New
depends what
England.
part of the state you're in.
Right.
If you're down here by Milwaukee, it's Bears fans you got to worry about. Then if you go Western Wisconsin, that's where you see the fucking Minnesota boys.
Gotcha. Yeah. Big football fan myself. I'm up here in New England, so Patriots. But our heyday is in the past. We still got some growing to do before we can, I guess,
Yeah.
get back to being a good team again.
Don't be sad it's gone. Just smile because it happened.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Let's transition, go back to this matchup with Mario. One of the things I did notice, 5 of his 7 wins are by submission. 4 of them are triangle chokes. Obviously, that's what he does best. Like, if this fight does hit the ground, like, how do you feel with your jujitsu versus his? Is that something that you like for the matchup as well?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like two eels just going at it. Two just lanky fucking snakes rolling around. It's gonna be high pace, high quality jujitsu, difficult to probably follow. Um, but I like to throw a lot of strikes and stuff while I'm grappling too. And hopefully that can. I think he's got like a real traditional style of like Gracie jujitsu or whatever. At least that's what I'm told. That's what they have over there in Italy. And from the film that my coaches have watched, that's what they're saying he's bringing. So we've been focusing on that, and yeah, I mean, I've been working on like a lot of sub defense. That's been like a good part of my camp. So if I get triangled, I'm probably gonna get taken out back behind the woodshed and fucking shot.
Well, don't get
That'll be the end of
triangle. That's
me.
the last thing you need.
That'll be the end of me, man.
Well, I'm glad you segue here with that comment. Do you feel like this is do or die for you? Like with this being your second shot at a contender series, like you got to get this one. I mean, we have seen some fighters get a third opportunity, but do you
If
feel
they
like the
win the first
pressure?
2 times, they maybe. Yeah. If I lose this one, I'm gonna fucking hop on PEDs and go fight overseas. Fuck that, man. Fuck that.
What promotion would even come to mind? Is it one? I'm not even sure. Like
I
some of those,
maybe like an ACA or something, a KSW. I don't know.
but you do feel very comfortable that you're going to get this win. Do you have a prediction for me? Like ultimately, how do you
I
see the fight ending?
I do not plan on winning by decision. So I'm predicting a finish. Ideally before ideally first round, obviously. But maybe the second round. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna get on top and do ground and pound, or it kind of depends on how well he holds up.
Mhm.
Uh what I sink in or either pound him out with. Um but yeah, decision probably will not help me here, especially since I've already lost once. But then again, there's middleweights aren't that good, and there's a shitload of middleweight fights this season for a reason. They need middleweights, so that gives us some leeway. Um, and they've been giving out a lot of contracts.
Mm.
Shit. I don't think I think like 6 years ago, like fucking Chris Curtis, he fucking like wheel kicked the guy or some crazy knockout and didn't get in with it.
Yeah.
They only used to take like 1 or 2 guys a show. Now they're taking like 4 or 5 on
Things have
average.
changed for the
That
better, right?
yeah, that bodes well. That
Yeah.
bodes well. But yeah, this is definitely kind of this is it.
Mm.
I gotta do it here.
Well, I'm excited to watch you compete again, my man. Last thing for me, I'm just curious, like, are you going to have like any friends or family in attendance there come fight night? What is that going to look like as far as people traveling to be there and support you in person?
Not too many. I'll have a couple. I have my pal and training partner. He's retired now, but Ben out there with me for the weight cut because my coaches will. They'll be flying in Monday because they gotta go coach Montel in Brazil.
Mm.
So then they'll be coming in Monday, which will kind of be weird for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be a huge deal. I usually do them pretty much by myself, anyways. So
Yeah, well, we're excited to see you back in there, my man. Again, October 14th. It'll be here before you know it. It's right around the corner. This Contender Series season has been a fun one, so we're excited to see party time Wes Schultz back in there. Great interviewing you here for the first time. Hopefully we can do it again down the line. Before we do sign off here today, I want to give you the floor. If you just have anything you want to plug, any sponsors, anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
I have no fucking sponsors, but I guess thanks everyone I've been training with and all my coaches for giving me a lot of their time, but they could be spent doing other things.